Hello and welcome to TechChecker. Today I've got a few things to show you. The main thing is this ReoLink 5 megapixel PoE fixed bullet cam, which is, as far as I know, is not even available for sale right now. This is being sent to me by the company to test it out, which I will do. I've got a couple of their cameras. One of them I've had for 2 years, still works fine. The picture's absolutely amazing. It's better than 1080p. It's the next level up. Right, so this is what you've come to look at. It's the new ReoLink 5 megapixels PoE fixed bullet camera. If you go on the website, I don't even think it's advertised at the moment. They're still advertising the 4 megapixel one, so this is even better. It's a fixed 4mm lens, which is perfect for what I want. I'm going to be changing this one. I've actually got a ReoLink on my front door. So day and night, 100 foot, 30-meter range. I don't need it for that far, but it will go up to that far. Power over Ethernet, which means basically that you can run this with just one lead. Easy connection, scan QR code, web and smart remote viewing. I've actually got it on my iPhone, the ReoLink app. I've also got it on my iMac, and it works really well on that. So I can just click on that, see who's at my front door straight away. And the other good thing is you can listen in on it. It's got a built-in microphone, web support. It's also got a slot for a micro SD card. If it hasn't got one in, I will be putting one in, because that's really handy. If you're for some reason your internet went down and you weren't getting the feed, it's going to still record it to the micro SD card. It's just handy to have as a backup anyway. I always set mine so that it sends me an email when someone walks into a certain zone. So yeah, so it's just a plain box. Let's get it open. So the first thing we get is a user manual. It's also got a thing here for the where to put the screws, and where to obviously make the holes, etc. So I'll be looking at that in a minute. A cat lead, cat 5 or cat 6 lead, patch lead there. A little Phillips screwdriver. Some raw plugs, 3 screws, which obviously going to be to fix the camera, and also an Allen key, which I'm assuming is going to be to adjust the tiltness of the camera. And then a connection here, which it's got a rubber seal, so I'm assuming that's like a waterproof connection. So let's have a look at the camera. So just remember that you will need a either a 12 volt power source, I should think it's 12 volt, or if you're going to run it with PoE, you're going to need a PoE adapter, which I've got one just here. This runs power over Ethernet. So take the box out of the way. Okay, so the camera itself looks really cool. It's got a new styles of LEDs on there. I don't know if you can see that. The newer version, every other one is slightly different. So I'm assuming one's going to throw a longer reach, one's going to throw a wider reach. Looks really smart. It's a metal housing, not cheap plastic. All this is metal. It's got a slot here for your SD card, which I'm going to get to shortly. You can bend it and adjust the angles. So you open these 2 screws up to get into where it says SD card. On the other end we've got the network lead adapter. Press to reset for 10 seconds, so if you need to reset the camera at any point. And then you've got a power lead. I'm probably going to end up using the power and the Ethernet just as a redundancy. I've got a PoE, but I normally keep this downstairs. So because this is going to be going on my front door and I've already got power there for the other camera, I'm probably just going to hook straight up to that, but for demonstration purposes today I'm going to hook it up to this PoE on here so we can get it up and running in my office. So let's have a look in what we get in here. So this is for marking out the position of where you're going to put the screws, so that's quite handy. You can fix it onto an area, drill the holes, and then when you take it away you've got the holes ready for that, and obviously you have a hole in the middle big enough to take this through as well. Or you can run it out through the side if you wanted, if you're having it on the side of a house or whatever. I prefer to try and hide all the wires because there's nothing worse than obviously someone can come along and just snip the wire. So because mine is going to be quite low, the wire is going to be hidden, but you'll see that later. So you get a nice sticker, stick on the front of your house, let people know that you've got security. Got a little book about your warranty, about the other products that they do. They also do a tilt pan camera, which I'd really like to test out. I've actually got this one here as well. That's on the front of my house in my soffite, which goes right the way down to the end of the driveway. That's really amazing quality as well. So as soon as someone pulls into my close, because I live with a close, this picks them up, so there's no way anyone can get into my property without going past one of the cameras, which is really good. They also do NVR recorders, which works with all ReoLink cameras. So what else we've got here? So we've got a quick start guide. Have a quick look through this. So basically it's saying you can connect it directly to the PoE switch, or you can run it through the power obviously. The PoE switch goes to your router. This is connected to a router, and then you've got your smartphone there. On the bottom of here you've got a QR scanner, and then obviously it's got the username, and the password's blank at the moment. Obviously when you set it up you change that so that you have a password on it, but that's handy, so you can just scan it to get it connected to whatever. So access via the smartphone. There you go, it shows you about the app. I can't download it because I've already got it. I'll give you a quick glimpse of the app to give you some sort of idea. Hopefully the reflection's not too bad. Oh, it's an update as well. I'll leave that for the minute actually. So at the minute this is connected over cellular, it's not through the Wi-Fi. I'm not connected through the Wi-Fi. This is the camera that I was talking to you about, which is on my driveway. As you can see, it's an amazing quality picture. Anyone comes into my close has got to come down this road here. I live right in the corner, so this anyone comes past here, I'm going to see the number plate and whoever they are. And this camera and the other camera has actually caught someone stealing from my next door neighbour's car. I mean, the quality is unbelievable. So anyway, that's that camera. And then I've got one on my front door. This is all running through 3G. This isn't through the Wi-Fi. This isn't connected to my Wi-Fi. This is completely separate. And this is the camera that I'm going to be replacing, because I'm going to be putting this one so it can see the back of my Audi. Anyone comes up to my front door, there's a door, there's a doorbell. So as soon as they come up, I can see who it is if I'm not at home, and also you can even listen in. Turn it off for the minute, but there it gives you some ideas. So obviously there's those two. I'm going to be connecting this one up as well. As I say, amazing quality. So let's go out of that. So I've already got the app, then the two cameras, the one on me guttering on me upstairs on the roof, and then the one by my front door. So that's the app, really easy to use, and I'll show you obviously connecting this camera up to it. So that's just saying about that. It's going through what I've just shown you basically. Add a new device, which is there. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to muck around, I'm going to actually just plug this straight in. We'll see how long it takes from plugging this into a PoE to actually get it up and running and visible on my mobile phone. So let's have a look. I might need to connect to the mobile network just for the first time. So, I haven't used the PoE before. This is the first time this is going to be used, so it's going to be as new to me as it is to anyone else who hasn't used it. So okay, so the light's on. It's flashing on the actual on the box. You can just see that. There you go. It's flashing on the box. That's from this camera. Just have a quick look before I go any further at this SD card slot. It does give you the screwdriver for it. It's really well built as well. Everything's metal. No cheap plastic. Undo the screws. That's where I need fingernails. So that's where you fit in your SD card. Put that there for a minute. Nearly lost that screw. I'll save that for later. I'll probably end up putting a 64GB, 32 or 64GB class 10 card in there. So anyway, that's in there. There's no way for me to tell if it's working at the moment, apart from seeing what happens when I add a camera. Right, first thing I need to do is just connect to my home network. So I'm just going to do that quickly, because at the moment the phone wasn't connected to my home network. It was connected just through the 3G. Okay, so go back into that. So click add a camera, and I'm gonna scan it. Right, it's connecting. Look at that, it's already initializing camera. That is the camera because it's showing the bottom of my computer. Let me just turn that one off. So that needs to synchronize the time. I'm going to synchronize it with my phone. So it's done that. Enable date format. I'm going to have it as day, month, year. 24-hour enable daylight saving. Click next. So I'm going to call this 5MP front. Gonna make a password for it. Okay, so I made a password for it. Gonna go next. Oh, password needs to be 6 letters, so let me just do that again then. Okay, so I've made it 6 letters. Setup is complete. For more configurations, go to the device settings to proceed. Click finish. Connection successful. So there we go. You can set up the different connectors. So let's have a look. Let's go out here a minute. Go to this view. So you've got the channel, the volume. Turn the volume off because we don't. You can flip between each camera as well. down. Right, so on here, click the little cog. So we got device info. Click on that. Tells you about the device. It's the RLC-410 5MP. The build number, the hardware, conversion, configuration, version, firmware version, etc. You can push so that it will automatically send emails and messages to your phone. You can click on the share so your friends and family can scan that code and also use the camera. The network IP address, the display, so you can have where you want the name, bottom right, display date. I'm going to have that bottom left. So that changes the display date to the bottom left. Display watermark. Not sure what that is. Off a minute. Rotation, so you can flip it upside down depending on the orientation, and also mirror it as well. So depending on where you got it. It's got an anti-flicker on it. 50 Hz, 60 Hz, or outdoor or automatic. I'm just going to leave it to off for the minute. Actually, I'll put it to outdoors because it will be going outdoors. You've got advanced here. I'm going to click on that. You can adjust the exposure, you can adjust the white balance, you can adjust the backlight. It's even got a 3D NR here, so it looks like it's amazing what you can do on this. And what you got to remember is always make sure that you click the little save button up the top here, because I remember from the last cameras when I was setting them up, because I didn't click the save button, basically it didn't save anything. So that's that. Let's go back. So we've got quality. So it goes 2560 by 1920, 2560 by 1440, 2048 by 1536, 2304 by 1296. Obviously I'm going to leave it on the highest one, so I mean that's mega resolution, that is. You can change the frame rates from 25 all the way down to 2. Obviously the higher the frame rate, the smoother it's going to be, but the more bandwidth it's going to use up. I normally have mine at 12. You can adjust the maximum bit rate as well. It goes from 1000 all the way up to 8000. I normally have mine about 2000. The fluent resolution, you can adjust that as well. Your bit rate as well, change that, and then the maximum bit rate on that one as well. So, and just remember again, click save. If you don't click save and you go back, it's not going to save it. Encoder sound, you can have the sound on or off. I'm going to have mine on. Sensitivity for your alarm. Now this is really good. You can set it so that obviously times when, like, if for argument's sake I'm at home, people like the postman etc are coming through the door in the middle of the day, you don't really need it to be very sensitive, because you know people are going to be knocking on your door. But through the night you can adjust the sensitivity, so different times of the day it's going to be different sensitivity. So midnight to 5 o'clock in the morning, say for argument's sake, you're going to want it really high, because that's the chances of that's when you're going to be asleep, and then obviously if someone tries to burgle your house you're going to want to be notified. So it does 0 to 6 o'clock, 6 o'clock to 12 o'clock, 12 o'clock to 1800 hours, 1800 hours to 2359. So the one that you're going to want the most sensitive, I would myself, I'm going to have from 0 o'clock to 6 o'clock in the morning, because most of the other time there's going to be someone here. So that's the sensitivity. You've got your infrared lights there. You've got your send email, your email schedule. You can change that as well. Email settings. So you can put your SMTP details in there, which I'll be filling out later. So then it automatically sends you an email. your push schedule as well, so you can adjust all of this. Everything is completely customizable from Sunday to Saturday. You can have different days of the week, different sensitivities, doing different things. Video standard, I'm going to change to PAL because I'm in the UK. NTSC is obviously for America, so that's just changing that. That might actually end up changing the resolution as well, because obviously NTSC and PAL run on different frequencies. So let's go back. You've got your date and your time. I think it's just doing a reboot because obviously I've just changed it from NTSC to PAL, so it's rebooting everything. But then you've got obviously your date and time, you've got your restore, and then you've got your reboot. So I'm just going to go back, refresh it, click on that, and there you go, you can see it's working. There's me there. So the next thing for me to do is going to be to set this up. I'm not too sure whether to put it on my garage or whether to put it on my front door. I'm in two minds at the minute. I'm going to set it up. I'm going to put it on my front door because I've got a wire running directly to it. So I'm going to set this up on my front door. I'm going to replace this front door camera. I'm going to put this front door camera on my garage. So that's that. Any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Anything you're not sure about, and I'll do my best to help you out. I think I've gone through pretty much everything. I mean, it's really simple to set up. I'll show it on my computer as well. I can do a screen grab on that. It's really easy to set up on the computer. You just go to the IP address on in your browser, and you can look at it through that way, or you can use the app like I've got on my Mac, which is called, I think it's just called ReoLink. Yeah, it's called ReoLink Client, and that's it, ReoLink Client. And then once that's opened up, I can then click on the camera and view it through that as well. So yeah, really good. And obviously I'll be showing you what the picture quality is like once it's all been set up. Just notice what that Allen key's for. Right, okay, so that must be, that Allen key goes in here, which locks and unlocks it. So basically you can adjust this. It's got an unlock there, and it's got a lock there, so that must be to twist this whole thing. But yeah, so, and obviously you can adjust the different angles, etc. So hopefully this video has been of some help. I'm going to stick a micro SD card in there actually. Let's do that. It just goes into the hole like so. I'm going to use the end of the screwdriver. It clicks into place, and then it's got a seal around it. That black bit there is a rubber seal to obviously keep the water out. Okay, so I'm just going to go over the internet based client. Here's the website, but I'm going to type in at the top the IP address of the camera, which obviously you can't see, but it will come up hopefully. There we go. So it's asking for a username, which is, and the password. Okay, so it's just logging in now. So there we go. Okay, right. I'm obviously got a bit of a problem with feedback. Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to just go onto the camera settings on my phone. I've just taken off the sound just so that we don't get that feedback coming back. So move this over a little bit. So we've got the basic settings, you can rename it, the advanced settings here, camera name, positioning, the watermark, which I'm not too sure what that is to be fair. You can mask off certain areas so that won't set off the alarm. And then on the right hand side we've got, let me move this over, got recording, you've got your encoding, got your advanced. So these are going to be easier to set up on the on here than it is on your phone. Obviously your phone's alright if you've only got your phone, but it's going to be a bit easier I think on the eyes to be setting up all this sort of stuff. Your IP address, which I'm going to have to hide that, and then your status, so I'm going to have to hide some of this, and then we've got your motion, which you're going to change the settings depending on the day or night and how you want it set up. Maintenance, so you can reset, configure, update, performance, showing you your bit rate and the CPU. Let's go you device, so there's the SSD. Let it click, so I'm assuming that it's just turned on. It takes a little bit of time for it to here we go. Right, so there we go, we're in action. Right, so there's the SD card. I'm going to format it. It's going to reboot. Right, okay, so I'm just going to screw the back on. It's got a 60GB SanDisk Extreme card in there. So it's going to last for a long time. Obviously when it gets filled up it's just going to overwrite itself, but 60GB is going to hold a lot of data. There we go. And hopefully logging in, there we go, there's Mugly Mug. Change the resolution, the frame rate as well, maximum bit rate, put it down, record audio, save. Save encoding. Right, so I'm going to have to re-log in. There we go. Okie dokie, so that is the web UI. If you want to play back, got all the different settings here. It's the same as the other one. You can go to the date. If there's a particular time that something's happened, you can go to that time. There you go, there was a bit there. That's me earlier on, and it's recorded it, so you can go back at any time and do that. So yeah, hopefully this has been of some help to you. Okay, so I've got the camera fitted to my porchway. You can see it's got a really good field of view, as you can see from the picture. Okay, so now I've got all three set up. I've got the one that was on my front door is now on my garage roof, like below the guttering, pointing at my car. I've still got the one which is up on the top of the house underneath the guttering, and now I've got the new one which is this one here, which is by the by my front door, and the picture quality is absolutely amazing. Now, one thing I've noticed on this one as well, if you want to zoom into a specific area, say for argument's sake I want to look at this area just around my car windows, if you click the clip bit, you can move this bit around, move it to where my car window is, and that's how good quality it is. You can literally zoom in on it, and that's, I mean, it's unbelievable. You can even see the reflection of the drain pipe in my car there, and if someone was at the car you'd be able to see it very easily. And then you can move it around even to my it says that. And you can even read what it says on the door. That's unbelievable. So, and then there's the one what was on the front door beforehand, just covering up my registration, and there's the other one, so you can zoom between each of them. And this is all working on 3G, so I could be literally anywhere in the world and look at this in this quality, and it is, so you actually see it firsthand. The quality is unbelievable. It's not like the old days with the CCTVs. I mean, this is mint. You can make out someone's face, no problems at all. And obviously anyone who walks in, I've set it so it will actually send a small video clip to the phone. My other ones send pictures, but I thought for a change I'd try video clips. It's quite easy to set up. If you've got a Gmail account, or really straightforward, you basically just put in your email address and your password, where you want it to go to, what email address, and then you hit test and it sends a test email out. Take pictures, record. That's recording now. Save that into my album. You can take picture, it's in your album. You can go black and white, colour or auto. You can make it bigger. I mean, it's brilliant. I mean, as I say, the camera which is now on my car, that camera there is probably 2 years old. Never had one problem with it. Never goes down. As long as I've got internet, I've got a picture. And this one here I've probably had for a good 18 months. And this is the same as well. You can this one doesn't support clip, but to be fair, you don't really need it, because you can zoom in, pinch zoom in. I mean, the quality is really good. Oh.
300.
I don't know what I've done then. It's Apple, but I mean, yeah, the quality is. Oh, come on. Not that Get the other one. I mean, the quality is really good. Bear in mind that's right down the end of my close. There's like two houses there and then another house next to it. It's like over 3 houses away, that is. So yeah, definitely would recommend. As I say, this one was sent to me as a demo. It's the new 5 megapixel. As far as I know, it's not even out yet. It might be out at the time you're watching this video. You can either power it over the internet if you've got a PoE adapter, or you can just use a 12 volt 1 amp adapter plug. So yeah, really good. Hopefully this video has been of some help. If you've got any questions, feel free to ask. I fitted it with a 64GB SanDisk SD card. As I said at the beginning of the video, I've just turned 1,000 subscribers. So if you live in the UK, leave your name in the comments below, subscribe, and say why you want this band and these four different colours of Sugru, which is absolutely amazing, life-saving stuff. Really handy for so many things. It's like soft to start with. You put it on to wherever you want, and within 24 hours it goes off and it goes rock hard. I've got it on my camera shutter buttons. You can also take it off after and it doesn't leave any residue, so yeah, it's really good. I'm not being paid by them, by the way. It's just that I thought this would be something that I could give away, as well as the band. So yeah, UK residents, name, subscribe, leave a comment below, and hopefully this video has been helpful.